everyone, so I have a very special video today where I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how many credit cards I've racked up this year and the value that I got out of them and the redemption that I've made, the travels that I've made. So I just want to share this with you so that you can get a sense in terms of how much you can actually get within one full year of accumulating points and redeeming points as well. So for any one of you who are interested in kind of booking your travels for free just with points next year, I feel this is such a great video to watch so that you can use me as an example for your future trips later on as well. So for anyone who is new here, welcome. So I am Grace. I basically share videos on travel tips, credit card points, and a sprinkle of my personal life here and there as well. So we are going to get started with a summary of my credit card points for this year. We're going to get started. So right now, at this point in time, I have 4 credit cards in total. They're all based in Canada. The first one is the American Express Business Platinum. I also have the American Express Marriott Bonvoy Personal. I also have the CIBC Aeroplan Visa Infinite, and lastly the CIBC Costco Mastercard as well. So of all those 4 credit cards that I have, 2 of them were actually newly acquired, which are the Amex Platinum and also the CIBC Aeroplan Visa card as well. And I actually did not cancel any of my credit cards this year. So we're going to take a look at my numbers here and share with you how much I spent on annual fees. So this year I spent $758 on annual fees, which you may feel it's a lot. It really is. That is also because I got the Amex Platinum this year, and of course, as you know, that has a really high hefty fee. I do have a full video on why I got the Amex Platinum and my evaluation of whether it's worth it or not based on the old fee as well. So if you want to take a look at that, you can click right here and you can have a look. With my 4 credit cards in total, I actually got quite a lot of value out of it. I do have my cheat sheet here with me because I do have a lot of numbers. So just to share with you very transparently, this is in 2-player mode, okay? So meaning that it's myself and my partner doing this. I do have 4 credit cards, my partner has 2 credit cards, and I would say that the more aggressive points accumulation does end up on my plate, and he just does whatever he can get with his credit cards, okay? So keeping that in mind though, so this is everything redeemed with points, and I want to share with you the value of these things if I were to book them with just cash. Okay, if I was to go to a website and I was to book all of these things, how much I would have paid. So first things first is that we did get a 2 round-trip economy flight with ANA flying direct from Vancouver to Tokyo, and that, according to Google right now, for 2 tickets would be about $4,600, okay? And then we also got 2 one-way premium economy flights with Air Canada, again from Vancouver to Tokyo. And for 2 people, it would have costed us $4,200 as well. We also booked a 5-night stay at AC Hotel in Ginza in Tokyo. Again, it's worth about $2,500. We also booked 5-night stay at the Fairfield Namba in Osaka, worth about $850. And lastly, 3-night stay in Hong Kong at Mira, I would say is worth about maybe $750. So all of that together was booked on points, okay? So the grand total of that, if I was to pay in cash for that, would have been $12,900. Okay, let's say you split between 2, that is still $6,000 worth of value, considering that I only paid $750 worth of annual fees as well. Okay, so all in all, basically, if you sum it up all together, I basically got a trip for 2 to Japan, stayed there for 10 days, completely free and just on points, and I got maybe like a little bit of Japan for next year as well on premium economy, and also a few nights stay in Hong Kong as well. So please do hit subscribe if you also want to get this much value out of your annual fees as well. So now let's actually go into the actual points that I redeemed through the entire year and how many points that required. I mainly have 2 loyalty programs that I go for. One is Aeroplan, which belongs to Star Alliance, and the second one being Marriott, so which is basically hotel stays. So those are the 2 key things that I try to get points for and to redeem. So again, cheat sheet here. My 2 round-trip economy flight with ANA, which was valued at $4,600 from Vancouver to Tokyo, I booked it for 140,000 Aeroplan points, so that you can think of it as 4 flights there and back for 2 people. And then secondly, I got 2 one-way premium economy flight with Air Canada direct as well for 88,000 points for 2 people. So in total, my Aeroplan redemption for all of my flights basically came to 228,000 points. So I racked up exactly this amount of points and I redeemed that. So secondly, I'm going to move into hotels. So I also, so myself and my partner, we both collect Marriott points just because we do have an American Express that is tied to Marriott. It is the easiest way for us to get hotel points. So with that said though, our 5-night stay at AZ Ginza worth $2,500. We paid 160,000 points for it. Our 5-night stay in Osaka worth $850. We paid 82,000 points for it. And 2-night stay in Hong Kong and Mira were $750. I used my 1-night free credit and also 30,000 points as well. So in total, my American Express spending for the year comes to 272,000 points. So now let's move on to the strategy, okay? So for me, the main strategy that I go with when I'm targeting programs or points, etc., is to really figure out the goal, right? You really need to understand what is your goal for this year. Is it Aeroplan points or is it flight credits? Are you trying to go for hotel stays? Are you trying to go for cashback? Whatever it is, really understand what the goal is. So for me, what I like to do is I like to divide it up. If you are in a family or if you have a partner or someone that you can do 2-player mode with, essentially is you want to figure out, okay, who's going to do what? This year, is your strategy to get flight credits or are you going to do Marriott? It is really, really hard, honestly, for one person to do both. Just because there's that minimum spending required, it is kind of hard for one person to rack up all of these points and spend X amount of dollars, right? So it's much easier with 2 people if you split the cost on 2 credit cards. And of course, 2 people means 2 times the spending. So therefore, it is a lot easier to get points, in my opinion. So if you really cannot decide, let's say it's just yourself and you don't have someone else that you could split this strategy with, because I know that not all partners or family members are interested in this type of like strategy and viewing this kind of point system as well, which I totally get. So if it's just yourself, totally fine, 1-player mode. I would actually personally go for trying to rack up points for flights instead. The main reason is that hotels, there are lots and lots and lots of options for hotels. You can redeem a cheaper night, you can find deals and things like that. But I think for flights, it is really hard. Like, it is honestly so hard because there's only so many providers, there's only so many flights that you can book with, and only so many deals that usually a flight on average would cost you about $1,000 for a trip, right? Unless like you're going to like the state next to you. Otherwise, like if you're traveling across the pond, whatever, like you are definitely paying at least $1,000 for a round trip. So there you go. Like, it's super easy. You pay, $120 or $40 for your annual fee, and you get basically $1,000 worth of flights back. Versus hotels, you really, really have a lot more options, right? You can go budget, you can economy, you can go high end, tons and tons of options. So that's why I feel like, your strategy, if you are just trying to figure out what is that one thing you want to maximize. So next up is we're figuring out which credit card to apply for. So whether you are in Canada, in the States, in Europe, wherever you're watching, all of these different programs do have something called welcome bonus. So essentially is that every single credit card, when you do sign up, the credit card company will front load you with X amount of points to thank you for joining the program. And of course, there are usually some kind of requirements in order to fulfill and to get these points. So it could be spending like $3,000 in 3 months. It could be like spending $10,000 in like 3 months. So it really varies. So make sure you do check what the welcome bonus is like and try to maximize it. There are a bunch of blogs out there that do share the value of each of these cards. So make sure you do check it out and do a little bit of research, and then you can sign up for them as well. So, but my tip here is that if you are not too sure on what your flight plans are and your goals are like, could change here and there, then my recommendation would actually be going for American Express instead. So the great perk about getting American Express cards is that you could transfer these points to a variety of different programs. You could transfer them to multiple flight partners. You could transfer them to multiple hotels. You could transfer them to car rentals, etc. So they are a lot more flexible than, let's say, getting a credit card that is with One World or with Star Alliance Airlines or with Marriott or specifically with Hilton or Delta, etc. So that is kind of my take on it. I think this is kind of like the best way to do it if you're not quite sure what your plans are for next year and you want a little bit of flexibility as well. And lastly, I want to share is that, if you are interested in deals and stuff, I figured it out. I'm going to be basically going to turn my community tab, which is in YouTube right here, into basically a page where I share travel tips and deals and stuff like that I find. I'm just going to post them there. So if you would like to get in the know and get updates on all of these kind of deals that I find, please do hit subscribe, because I think that this feature is only available, or that my content only shows up on feeds if you are subscribed. So please do subscribe, and I tried my best to kind of post things that I find about travel that you all might be interested in as well. If you have any questions, please do comment down below as well. I always try my best to reply. If you have suggestions for other people, leave them down below. I know that people do read the comments as well. So that's it though. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next one. Bye!